Yo, what's good? What's going on, everyone? Hope you're having a great day. It's Neff, and today we're going to be looking at even more Havoc changes today. They came out with new patch notes last night, and we're just going to go through them quickly right now. There were a decent amount of changes and a lot of good ones. And yeah, like the bottom of the video says, if you like the UI in the video, I'll show it right now. It's available for Twitch subs and patrons. Links to both in the description. And then you join my Discord to actually download the UI and everything. So yeah, if you're interested in that, links in the description. Anyways, let's get into the video now. So first off, you can see the top half of the tree has changed a little bit. Some pathing has changed, and one new talent got added, and some other stuff got removed. So first off, Unrestrained Fury, Bouncing Glaives, and Imprison have all moved around a little bit. Now you don't have to take Imprison to get Bouncing Glaives. They got rid of Unleash Power and added a new talent called Champion of the Glaive. And what this does, Throw-Glaive has 2 charges and 10-yard increased range. So Throw-Glaive now has a 40-yard range on it, which is, I mean, I don't think it was needed, but I guess it is kind of cool. We can also take Master of the Glaive, so it's the old talent. Throw-Glaive will have a snare on it, a 50% slow. So yeah, I think it's a decent choice node. The 40-yard range is pretty cool. Fellblade and Aura of Pain removed a little bit. Aura of Pain is now on the right side and is still, you know, really easy to get. The clash tree is in my opinion, it's pretty much perfect. Just the pathing of it, everything, is just really good. Precise sigils and concentrated sigils are no longer in the middle-ish. They're now like towards the bottom on the right side, and they're off to the side. They changed some pathing things here. This was like a straight line at first, and now they changed it to the outside. I'm not sure why they did that, because now to get concentrated and precise sigils, you have to take Lost in Darkness. But they also changed concentrated and precise sigils to where it doesn't increase the sigil duration anymore. So they nerfed these a little bit, which I don't really care. I don't like playing with these. I think they're kind of cringe, to be honest. They also changed Live by the Glaive. It used to restore 2% of your max health in 10 Fury, now restores 4%, so they doubled that, which is pretty nice for Vengeance. I don't think you'll ever take this as Havoc, but it's nice for Vengeance. And then the biggest thing they did on the clash tree, they got rid of Fodder to the Flame. So Fodder to the Flame versus Collective Anguish, I think Fodder is better by like maybe 3 or 4%. Collective Anguish is not a bad talent. It's good in AoE, doesn't do much in single target really. But I think Fodder really contributed to button bloat during our burst windows. You know, having to press Fodder, Immolation Aura, like Fell Rush, all this stuff, all this setup, it was just adding on top of each other, and there were starting to be a lot of button bloat, you know, for our burst, and you know, it was getting to be a little bit too much. So with the changes they made to Fodder, you know, it ended up being like pretty good to play with. But either way, with or without it, you know, I'm not sad that it's gone, to put it that way. But I think it definitely is a nerf to our damage overall. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the clash tree. Now we'll move on to the spec tree. There were a lot of changes on the spec tree made, mainly focused on this bottom half here. They basically combined a bunch of talents on this bottom half here, and then they moved the capstones around a little bit. So Chaos Theory and Glaive Tempest are now a choice node, which is kind of weird, because I think Glaive Tempest is basically always going to be the better choice over Chaos Theory. This Chaos Theory just, you know, it's not that great, to be honest. And with the buff to Glaive Tempest, you know, I think this is just an obvious choice. If you're going to go with this node, like Glaive Tempest is just like the obvious choice, and you'll never really think about it, honestly. And the same thing goes for this node, at least in this current tier coming up, because we most likely will not be running Chaotic Transformation, at least with the Throw-Glaive build, for the most part. And the only reason Restless Hunter is good is because of Chaotic Transformation. When you I-beam, so you're in demonic form, and then you meta, and it counts as coming out of that demonic form while you're going into your new demonic form, right? So it gives you this buff, and you can get that 50% increase on that next death sweep inside of your essence break. And that's kind of the only reason Restless Hunter was like ever good. It's a pretty unimpactful talent. Without that, And like I said, I don't think we'll be running this, but I could be wrong. I'm definitely wrong sometimes. And Inner Demon, at least in large AoE, Inner Demon is just very, very strong. So if we were to ever go down this middle part of the tree, I think Inner Demon is just like, it's kind of just the obvious choice, to be honest. And then we have another new choice node, Relentless Onslaught and Soulscar. Soulscar used to be Soulrend. They changed the name. I don't know why they keep changing the name of these things, but they do. This is another, like, you know, brain dead choice, especially with this tier. The tier set that we have, like, there's just no way you would ever pick Relentless Onslaught over Soulscar. I mean, like, even with the build down the middle, I think, you know, it's just another obvious, like, choice node of what you will pick, at least in this tier. And then the other changes were to capstones being moved around. So a Fire Inside used to be where Fell Barrage is now. I think is a really good change because this synergizes really well with Inertia, and Inertia synergizes, they just synergize really well with each other. And it being all the way on the right side, that far away from it, I just don't think was healthy for like the builds, or the, you know, just the build to play well and like pathing and everything. So I'm glad they moved that closer to Inertia. Because like I said, you know, without a Fire Inside, Inertia is not good because you're only getting one Unbound Chaos every, like, what, 25, like 30 seconds. I have 20% haste, so it'd be like 25-30 seconds. You'd only have Inertia, you know, for 5 seconds. But with this, you know, you get the refunds, you get one additional charge, and these, like, Inertia just wouldn't be the same without a Fire Inside, and a Fire Inside wouldn't be the same without Inertia. And then they moved Essence Break. It was where a Fire Inside is now. They moved it to the right, where a Fell Barrage used to be. This change isn't really impactful. I mean, I think the major change was moving a Fire Inside next to Essence Break. Now we can just go down this left side and take a Fire Inside and Essence Break, like, very, very easily within the same node, which is really, really nice. Shattered Destiny stayed the same, Any Means Necessary stayed the same, and then Fell Barrage obviously moved over to the far right side, which I think is kind of where it belongs. I think this right side is like more AoE oriented, mostly. It's like the chaos damage side. It kind of makes sense, right? But they also nerfed Fell Barrage. Let me pull up the numbers here. So they nerfed Fell Barrage a little bit. The max duration of it is now 8 seconds. It was uncapped. The fury cost per volley has been cut in half. So it was 8, now it's 15, and the damage per volley has been reduced by almost 30%. It's 28.5%. So we got a little bit of a nerf. But on 5 targets, I think this is going to be very, very strong still, and doing a lot of damage. But honestly, I think Glaive Tempest and like Mythic Plus will be way better option than Fell Barrage, in my opinion. I think this just minute and a half cooldown doesn't really synergize with anything. Minute and a half cooldowns and Mythic Plus especially are really weird, because most of the time you're pulling big every 2 minutes, and then you're just holding this for 30 seconds, and it's just, I don't know, minute and a half cooldowns, 3 minute cooldowns, they just don't really do well in Mythic Plus, because 90% of other classes have 2 minute cooldowns. And then there was also a nerf to Chaotic Disposition. I think the chance to duplicate percentage of the damage was 33%. I couldn't find it in the patch notes. I think it was 33%, but it got nerfed down to 21%. I think this will still be an obvious choice with this, like, AMN build, Throglaive build. It was basically carrying our damage in single target. I mean, maybe not carrying, but it was doing a lot of damage in single target, and I don't think the 10% is going to be enough to justify not taking this. So those were all the changes to the class tree. The last changes, they changed our tier set a little bit. So the 2 set works the same, except you don't get free throw glaives now. Instead, it uses your charges of your throw glaives. So when you blade dance, you have to have a charge of throw glaive for it to actually throw out a throw glaive. So again, that will help a little bit with button bloat. You don't have to be spamming your throw glaives all the time. but you do want to keep your charges obviously not capped. You always want to have your throw glaive on cooldown when using the like an AMN Soul Scar build. You know, that's kind of a given, but it will help with the button bloat a little bit. And then they changed the 4-piece. All they did was buff it by 4x. The CDR was 0.4 seconds on the hunt. Now they changed it to 2 seconds on the hunt. So you'll definitely be able to see that CDR whenever you throw glaive. And I think they changed the 2-piece because they changed the 4-piece. You know, if you're just chucking out glaives, you know, for free from the 2-piece, you know, you're throwing 50 glaives per fucking, I don't know, 2 minutes. I don't know what the actual number is, but it's probably somewhere close to that. You're getting a ton of CDR if it's 2 seconds. So they had to nerf, well, they had to change the 2 set a little bit to make the 4 set, you know, a little bit better. But yeah, I think those are all the changes that happened yesterday. If I missed something, make sure to let me know. Found something useful in the video, make sure to leave a like. Let me know what you guys think about the changes, what you would like to see change in Demon Hunter. Maybe somebody on the DH team or Reels or somebody will see it in the comments. Maybe it'll pique their interest, and maybe you'll give them a cool idea. I don't know. Or maybe I'll read it and I'll see it, and maybe, you know, I'll try to pass it on to one of them. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. Leave a like, comment, sub, everything like that. UI is available for Twitch subs and patrons. Links in the descriptions and everything like that. And yeah, till next time, peace.